Greetings everyone, welcome to this video, and in today's video we'll be seeing string functions and methods. This is part 1 of this series. So a quick note here that I'm going to teach you this function here, len bracket open bracket close. Now this function would be a bit familiar if you have watched the previous video, because in that video I showed you what is this function. But if you don't know, let me explain you what it is. It gives the number of characters present in the word. Alright, so if I have a variable small a and it stores, let's say hello. So hello have how many characters? HELLO. So hello have 5 characters. So how to check that? You can do one thing, that is type len, open the curve bracket, type the variable name, that is small a, and close the bracket and then press enter. Then you would be getting 5. Okay, so it just gives you the number of characters present, and it's important, we will be using that later on. Okay, so in this video we will see all Python's built-in string manipulation methods. But what is manipulation? You see that manipulation, if I define to you here, you see, to manage or influence skillfully, especially in an unfair manner. Okay, so this thing unfair sounds a bit illegal, but yeah, that's what we are going to do with strings now. So to manage or influence skillfully, but that first line is not enough. Okay, so we have especially in an unfair manner. That's something very important. And so if I try to define string manipulation, it is the changing or parsing or slicing or pasting or analyzing of strings. Okay, so if you are slicing a word, that's illegal, that's something unfair you are doing to a string. For example, I wrote a string that is international and I sliced it, so only national came out. So that's unfair, right? I'm changing the complete meaning of the word from international to national. Alright, so there are overall 12 built-in methods. Let's start with the first one. We have string.capitalize, string.find, and in bracket we have sub, start, end. We have string.isalnum, string.isalpha, string.isdigit, string.islower, string.isspace, string.isupper, string.lower, and string.upper. For kind information, these are only 10 methods. The other two we would be doing that in the next video because it needs a lot more explanation. Okay, so let's start with the first one, string.capitalize. So what is this function? Capitalizes the first letter or the character of the string. For example, I have here a is equal to subscribe now. Alright, so what I'm going to do is a dot capitalize bracket open bracket close. So you see that instead of the letter string, the word string, I have written the variable name. So that makes it clear that the first letter should be the variable name, then dot any method. So we are using capitalize here, bracket open bracket close. So what happened in the whole string, the first character, what is the very first character? Small s. So what happens, it gets capitalized to capital S. Okay, so subscribe now. We can use this when you are doing, like, cities name. Suppose you wrote a city name, let's say London, and you wrote small l, and if I write it then London dot capitalize, the letter L would be capitalized. Next up I have string.find in bracket sub, start, end. Now it prints the lowest index with the string sub. So sub is a string actually, which you can see right over there. In the bracket we have sub. So sub is actually name of a string, is found within the start index and the end index in the string. Alright, so this is the example. Small a is having a string subscribe now, and then we have another variable small s that is storing the string b. It have only b in that. And now what method I have written? A dot find in bracket small s. So what is a? A is the main string, and then dot find is the method or function, and in the bracket I have written the substring. Now you see that I have not written here the start value or the end value, because by default the start and end, if I have not written start and end in the function in the brackets, by default it searches the whole word. Okay, whole string, sorry. So I wrote a dot find s and gave me 2. Now why did it give me 2? You see, if I check the string that is small a, there is s, u, and b. So b comes at index number 2, so that is the index. So in the previous video I showed you guys what is forward indexing, and in that forward indexing we had this thing. So small s has 0, small u has 1, and b has 2. Alright, now if I just alter this a bit, so we would find small s comma 3 comma 9, and now if you see here, I have written the start value and the end value. Now what is start? Start is 3, and 3 is the index number where we have to start. So which letter in subscribe now actually have that index? So S is 0, U is 1, B is 2, S is 3. So the second S is 3. And then from 3 till 9. So 9 is what? 3, then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 is the space between subscribe, and now there is a space that contains 9. So between 3 and 9 I have to search for B. So which is at the second B, that is at the index 7. So S is 0, U 1, the first B, because it should have given me 2, but why it didn't give me 2? Because it's not in the range of 3 and 9. And one important thing, if the substring is not found, then it prints -1. Alright, so if instead of B I would have written K, okay, so it would have given me -1. So it means that it is not there in this string. String.isalnum checks if the string has either alphabets or numbers. If any of them is found, then it prints true or else prints false. Example, small a is equal to 24k as a string, and a.isalnum true. Now what happens here actually, if you see that isalnum, it is the short for is alphabet or number. If anyone is there, it's going to give me true. So 24k, 2 it's a number, of course there, k it's the alphabet is there, okay, so true. Another example, if I just remove the k, 24, it's true. Why? Because no, who cares, because the function itself says that it should be either alphabet or either number. So I have number, give it true. But this one gives me false. Why? Because these are not alphabets nor numbers, these are special characters. So percentage, it's a special character, or simply you can say it's an arithmetic operator, which you should see this video that's coming at the I button if you want to know about these arithmetic operators. Then I have this dollar sign, then we have asterisk. So these are not alphabets, not numbers, these are simply special characters. So for that it's going to give me false. Next, string.isalpha. So you see it's alpha. So what happens here, checks if the string has alphabets only. If yes, then it prints true or else prints false. So the whole string should contain all alphabets, no numbers, nothing. So a is equal to code, and then you can see a dot is alpha. What happens here, it checks if the if the variable a is having all alphabets. If yes, it's going to print me true. And if similarly, if I written 24/7, so I have included a number and a special character that is slash, it's going to give me false, because all the characters in the string small a are not alphabet or alphabets. String.isdigit, same function as, same property as the previous one, that is alpha. Here it checks if the string has digits only. Note it's an integer. If you write float, it's going to give you false. Okay, if is, then it prints true or else prints false. So here we have a is equal to 539, a dot isdigit true, of course true, because it has only digits. If I write something like this one, so a is equal to L539, a dot isdigit, of course it is false. Why? Because it's having a character also with that. String.islower checks if all the characters in the string checks if all the character in the string are lowercase. That has is wrong actually. So all should be lowercase. If yes, then it prints true or else it prints false. We have example here, a, small a is equal to I am not depressed. You see all the characters here are lowercase. Okay, there is no capital letter here, so it's going to give me true. Here also it's going to give me true. So I just wrote this example because the number 24 should not affect it, so it never affects. The numbers don't affect it. This function has only to do with characters. But if I write something like this, I'm not garbage, so I is capitalized here, so it's going to give me false. String.isspace checks if string only contains spaces. If yes, then it prints true, or else print false. So you see, a is equal to, I have these apostrophe, I have a string here, and there are two spaces actually in them. So a dot e space, true, because everything is space. There is no character, there is no number, there is no special character or anything. But if I write something like this, a is equal to h is there, even though we have spaces, but we have a character, it's going to give me false. String.isupper checks if all the characters in the string are uppercase. If yes, then it prints true, or else print false. Same as the previous one, I guess. A is equal to never hate yourself, so all are upper, so true. Hate is poison, so even though I have some uppercased letters here, but I have lowercase also, so it's going to give me false. Similarly, a is equal to number 2, u is going to give me false because I don't have any uppercase letter here. String.lower. So print all the characters of the string by making them lowercase. I hope you get this thing, I guess. A is equal to enemy is never great, so these are all capitalized. So what happens here is a dot lower. So what happens, all the characters in this string gets lowered, so their case simply gets lower. And similarly, string.upper prints all the characters of the string by making them uppercased. Similarly, it's same like the previous one, same method, but what happens, a is equal to you are never weak, and these are all lowercase, so what happens, they got uppercase, and I did that. So these were some theory parts we were learning today, and let's go to Python shell and see some examples on that. Alright, so we're in Python shell. So let me start with something with a string. So I'm going to write a string. Let's say Python is great, so I have a string here. So what to do if I want to check the number of characters in them? len bracket open bracket close, in the bracket I'm going to type a 15. Any doubt? Let's check it out. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15. So note that it does not ignore spaces, it counts the spaces as a character also. Let's say if I want to find the letter n here, so a dot find, okay, let's create a variable first. So let's say m is equal to n. So a dot find what m, okay, so 5, it's at the 5th position, so let's check it out. If it's there only 0 1 2 3 4 5. All right, what if I want to check it between specific characters? So m comma, let's say 6 comma 8, so it's going to search between the whom, let me just show you. It's going to search from here 0, sorry, this is 6 7, okay, it's going to search only till here. So is it available? No. So what's going to print? -1. Then we have a dot is upper, okay, sorry, so I have to write upper. All right, a dot is upper, false. Why? Because only one character is upper, others all are lower, so no. If I write similarly lower, it's false. Why? Because there is one that is uppercase. Then a dot is space, the answer is false. Why? Because there are characters in them. If I were to write L is equal to these many spaces, so this is going to be true. Yeah, it's going to be true. Then any else? Yeah. So what I'm going to do is 1 minute, let me just print a here so that you can see what is a. A is this thing, and what I'm going to do is a dot lower. Look, the letter P became smaller. If I do the same thing but upper, everything becomes uppercase. Then we had is alpha and all those, so let me just write a dot is alpha. Okay, false. Why? So it is because we have spaces between them. All right, so spaces. So if I were to write something like m is equal to Python is Great. See, there are no spaces between them. Now if I were to write this thing, sorry, m, okay, I'm going to give me true. That's all for this video, I guess. I hope you found this video informative. If you did, leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel if you have not, and the next video is going to be on string manipulation part 2, where we will learn about string.lstrip and string.rstrip, and also some concatenation. So I hope you found this informative. If you did, leave a like down below. Thank you.